My hatch rate is down. I am completely aware that we did this last week, but if you'll remember, I had another incubator going, and this time we've got a whole bunch of different eggs that we need to separate. So we're going into lockdown. What is lockdown? Lockdown happens on the 18th day of incubation. The reason it's called lockdown is because after you separate the eggs that you want to separate and you shut this thing and add a second bottle of water to raise the humidity, you do not open this again. It's locked down, shut tight, because you cannot have the humidity going up and down while they're actively hatching. The inner membrane that they have to break through, if that dries out while they're trying to break through, it'll shrink wrap itself and stick to their skin, and then they won't be able to go anywhere. A lot of chicks, right before they hatch, end up dying because they were unable to break through because that membrane was not soft enough. So that's why lockdown is so important. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to take the turner out now. And I love this because I had these really small eggs and I had these really big eggs, right? And what I love about this is that it had the different slats that you can take out and move so that I could fit several different size of eggs in here. Okay. And you always want to take the turner out, because if this thing starts turning while those chicks are hatching, it could rip off a beak or tear a toe or a leg off or something. And that is not fixable. Okay. So you want to get rid of this. Don't throw it away altogether. I'm just saying take it out. And I do have one purple egg in here. Some of y'all may remember I've got a hen that lays purple eggs. That's a dark egg with a super heavy bloom. So I want to keep track of this little guy. The other two purple eggs that I got to hatch last month they turned out to be roosters. So basically I'm gonna set them up with hens that lay really dark eggs because I want to get super purple or even pink eggs out of that. So here's one, and these are just those mesh produce bags. You can buy them in bulk in lots of different places. They are not expensive. And these are just, those little 4-inch zip ties. Okay. So there's my purple egg, right? Now I want to get, looks like I have 3 regular sized Indio Gigante eggs in here. Okay. So, and I just want to show y'all plenty of room to hatch in here. Okay. They've got lots of room to work. I just have one rooster right now. So all of these eggs are Walter's babies, right? Okay, so here's my 3 Indio Gigante eggs. All 3 of these are Felicia's eggs. These are all Felicia's eggs. She is my tallest Indio Gigante. She's even taller than Big Worm was. These are Easter eggers. These are like a mint green color. So what I'm hoping for is if I get any hens out of this, that they lay a deeper shade of green, or I'm looking for a moss green or a sage green. Since they all have the same daddy, it's really possible that they could come out looking very, very similar, so I wouldn't be able to tell who was who. Because I also want to make sure that I keep my purebred copper Morans separate, because I'm going to have a separate Moran breeding program. Okay, lots of room to hatch. Okay, and so these are my tiny pink eggs. Here we go, ladies or gentlemen. Lots of room to hatch for them. And then, so I'm not going to separate any of these out. These are all roughly the same color, same shade. None of them are particularly like super, I mean, this one's kind of, but it's like an ombre. So, and most of them are speckled, which, of course I want speckled, but since they're all speckled. So, I think I'm good on that. So here we go. So we're putting this back on. We are adding a second bottle of water, right? We're going to raise the humidity up to between 65 and 75%. And then hopefully in a couple of days, I'll have some really interesting looking chicks. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, let me know, and wish us luck, because if you saw last week's video, my hatch rate is down.